once I felt so violated, and I just felt like it was time for me to leave Denmark. Guess what? In a clear bag, like a trash bag, you know, like those plastic bags, they had gathered everything I had and put it in that bag. Like, so they felt like maybe, oh, if they bring a black lady, maybe I would calm down, maybe I would feel better. Oh, I'm so sorry about the experience. Is there something that you can do? Well, I'm leaving Copenhagen abruptly. I wasn't planning to leave, but you know, shit happens. Part of the travel, part of the adventures. I wasn't planning to leave Copenhagen at this point, but I don't allow or let, you know, disrespect. I don't allow myself to get disrespected. The lighting is not good, but I'll tell you about it anyway. So I'm leaving just right now. It's going to be a night bus. There's nothing much I can tell you at this time, but I'm going to explain a lot more, at least when I get to Copenhagen, when I get to Oslo in the morning. So random decisions, but yo, I really love this city. I love Copenhagen. It's beautiful, really nice, but the experiences are not just as good. Since this is a night journey, there's really nothing much we are going to see because it's extremely dark, obviously. But this is the route we are doing today, from Copenhagen through Sweden all the way to Oslo, Norway. And I'm going to show you immediately we get to Norway. Good morning from Oslo, Norway. So we are in Oslo right now. We are actually about to disembark, but man, look at this views. This country is just, it's inviting me. I love water. I love how clean and green it looks. People have their small boats around, getting around. Damn, this country is inviting me. It looks like something that I would really, really love. A place I would really enjoy with the sun and the boats. It has a lot of water and I love water. So let's see. Oslo, Norway. Welcome to country number 14 in 2023. Good morning from Oslo, Norway. Just got here, traveled overnight, and finally in Oslo. Okay, I'm panting because the lift couldn't work and I had to carry my bags up these stairs. Anyway, I'm going to tell you once I get to my accommodation. I'm going to tell you exactly why I had to leave Copenhagen suddenly. Yeah. In the meantime, this is Oslo. Crossing through multiple trains. Probably one of the busiest area because I just arrived at the central station. We passed through here all these blue chip companies, and from my maps, someone said Google Maps should sponsor me. Yes, Google Maps should sponsor me. That's all I'm always using. I don't even know if it's a bus or whatever I'm taking, but I know it's 54. The number is 54. Look at this. It's so uneven, like I have to walk at angles because of the shape of this place. Can you see? It's like how is it called? It's like pyramid, not I've forgotten. Oh yeah, pyramids. Yeah, it's like pyramids. Design of pyramids. So I'm gonna follow this line because I think this one makes it easier for me. Struggling to control the bag. Oh my goodness. Finally, I'm going to be resting, so I'm going to take the train to my accommodation, and then later on I'm definitely catching up with all of you still in this episode to tell you exactly why I had to leave Copenhagen suddenly. Well, just arrived at the new location I'll be staying, but got to the lift. So what do I press here? I don't understand. So okay, I'm just gonna assume and press this one. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully. Okay, which side? It has to be this way. Hey good people, so now that I'm a bit relaxed and freshened up and of course glowing, let me tell you what really happened in Denmark. So there's this place I booked to stay, paid for the first night. Of course I'd already paid before I got there, so checked in, and sometimes I always prefer to pay for one night and then later extend based on the experience. So I did that, and the next morning, of course, first thing when I woke up, I was like, okay, I don't have much time here, so I'll need to just extend instead of starting to look for another place. So I woke up, went downstairs, went to the reception, and I told them that I needed to extend for the second night. When I went there, apparently their systems were down. I went with my card ready to pay. I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do right now? So I told them I want to go out because I'm here to check out, explore. I don't have much time in Copenhagen, so I will not stay around to wait to extend. So what do I do? So she said she's going to talk to housekeeping, and I actually told her that I don't want anyone to touch my stuff because I have my gadgets and all that, and I just don't like people touching my things when I'm not around. It makes me a bit uncomfortable. And if you're a creator, like we have a lot of tiny gadgets. You have this thing that you attach here and here, so that makes you feel like if someone touches something little, they might not even notice it. You might lose something that you don't want to lose, however little it is. It might even be that small bolt that you attach to a GoPro. It might be like a little magnet that you attach somewhere. So depending on your equipment, if you're a creator, you probably understand this. So while I was there, the lady called housekeeping. I was actually there. She told me, hold on, wait. So she called housekeeping to ensure that nobody is going to touch my stuff. Of course, I waited, and of course she assured me like, okay, the systems are down. I've called housekeeping. She even sent a message. I was there. She even sent a message and told housekeeping nobody will touch my stuff. So once I got the green light, I told them I will not be back maybe until the night. So she was like, okay, no problem, no one's gonna touch your things. Mind you, I forgot to mention this. I didn't just go to the reception to suddenly make the payment. There was issues with the keys, the lock. So one of the guys who works at the reception had actually earlier on come to sort it out, and I told them, oh, I need to extend. He told me just book the same place, same room and all that. That's gonna be fine. So I actually went online and made a reservation, which you partially pay for it, just like I done the first night. So I paid partly the money online, and partly I was to go with my card to pay at the reception, which I went to the reception before all that I mentioned earlier. So I was assured my room would be kept for me and no one's gonna touch my things. I didn't even want them to like clean it or whatever, because it wasn't even as messy, but my equipment and gadgets were all over. At this time, I don't know what happened to their systems, because even the keys to access the room was not working, and not just in my room. Almost every room there was people at the reception complaining about the same, like, you know, these things is not working. Anyway, they told me the system would be back at 4, but I told them I'm very certain I will not be back at 4, but since I've already made my reservation, my staff are in the room and all that, that should be fine. They assured me no one's gonna touch my things, and that's like what pisses me most, because when I came back, I don't even know, like, I've never ever had such a bad experience with places I'm staying like this. I've come back ready to rest after a long day, and I go to the reception presenting my card. I'm like, oh, you didn't charge it in the morning, your systems were down. Of course, this time around it was different staff that were there, and then I'm told, like, we have your staff here. I'm like, because I remember how I left my things. I don't think there's anybody who could pack them and organize them, especially my gadgets, how I would do that. So this lady, it was a different staff, she goes into some store or something they have behind the reception and brings my stuff. Guess what? In a clear bag, like a trash bag, you know, like those plastic bags. They had gathered everything I had and put it in that bag. Remember the fruits that I bought and the little shopping that I done the other night? In case you watched that previous episode, in case you watched that previous episode, you saw when I went to the supermarket to get some fruits, bananas and all that. But now everything was gathered in that trash bag. Shower gel, the sponge for showering, like literally everything. Dirty clothes, clean clothes, shoes, fruits. I bought some groundnuts, like my food stuff and everything. They were all gathered there. They were all in that trash bag. I'm going to insert a clip to show you. I didn't even bother recording that. You know, sometimes when you're angry and you're pissed, like even holding the camera is not the first thing that you do. Actually, just will show you what happened as I'm explaining later. So she brings them and puts them down there at the floor, and with my 2 other bags, my toothbrush, like toothpaste, everything in this white clear trash bag basically. I was shocked. So she's like, oh, I can't even remember the excuse she gave me, but like the sight of that really made me angry. And then I'm like, why did you move my things? The systems were down. I have a reservation. Part of my money is already with you. She's like, oh, the morning staff didn't tell us and all that. I'm like, can you call the morning staff? She's trying to call. Oh, she's not picking. Calling the other one, he says like, oh, they're not picking. But I don't even think like she was really calling them, or maybe she called them and whatever they talked, because she went to the room behind there to talk with them, is like maybe they didn't find a solution, or maybe like they realized, like, you know, they had effed up. And I asked her, how certain can I be? Like, everything is actually here. How can I know that you guys have not really messed up with my stuff, or there's nothing missing? She's like, oh, you can just check. I'm like, in this trash bag, you know, it's one of those hotels, you know, those hotels whereby the reception, it's also like a restaurant, cafe, so there's people there having their drinks, coffee, alcohol, whatever, and then you want me to go through a trash bag where you've packed my stuff as if it's trash, and you want me to, like, it's like dumpster diving, like to dive. Yeah, this black girl can go into, you know, some diving into this trash here, and everybody else is having a good time. Everybody's looking at me. I'm at the reception. I was like, are you even embarrassed yourself? Like, is this even an image that you want to create? Is this the image that you want to create for your place? I refused. I was not going to go through that at the reception of the hotel. I'm not going to go through my stuff like that as if it's trash. Like, for me, like, I don't know, like that image. Imagine yourself at that reception. People are having drinks, enjoying and all that. And then you are into some trash with trying to unpack and pack, and like, it's just very embarrassing. Like, I just felt so violated. I felt like they violated my privacy so much. Like, I don't even have the best words to express the feeling. Like, I think at that moment I was like really angry. I was very, 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 very angry, worked up. And so she's like, oh, okay, we can go to the basement. I'm like, I'm not even carrying, like, you're not going to put my things on trash and me carrying trash across the reception, I don't know, to the basement or wherever. So this lady carried them. Did I mention that initially they had actually kind of tried to put the blame on me until when they realized like I was firm? That's when they were like, they were like, oh, you know how they can be dismissive initially, and I would not let them dismiss me. Like, they fucked up, like they effed up, and I was not going to let them to just dismiss me and make it look like it's my fault, because absolutely it was not my fault. I had played my part as a guest. I had paid my dues, and when your systems were down, it wasn't my fault at all, because I even partially paid you online, so it was just remaining some bit of the amount of money that I was to pay at the reception, and your whatever was done. So I had to be firm and make that very, very clear. So when they realized like I was really firm, that's when they started acting as if they're looking for a solution or they're trying to help me. Well, so back to it, I have refused to carry my stuff to the basement. So this lady who was at the reception carries them, and we go to the basement. There's like a pool table and something, so we put the stuff out there so that I could be able to go through and see what's missing and what's not. But I think at this point, I think they'd realized like they messed, so they were even trying to be like really nice. They were trying to tell me, oh, we can give you another room, whatever you want. Do you want a drink, or do you want a cocktail, water, anything to make you feel better? There's nothing that was going to make me feel better. You went through my stuff. That's the like very, 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 very painful. That is invasion of privacy. So there's nothing that they were going to tell me that was going to make me feel better. Not even giving me a free room, because I think they brought a thing about wanting to give me a free room or something like that. Free room, I see you don't want a negative review, so you want to give me a free room, but there's nothing that was going to buy me out. Like, I was done, and there's nothing that they would offer me that would make me feel better at that point. Immediately I got to the basement, I decided I'm not going to stay here. No amount of convincing, no free room, no nothing was going to make me stay. I just felt like that's not a place I wanted to be. At that point, I just packed my stuff, ensured like at least the ones I could remember were there. Sometimes you might not even remember something is missing until when it's late and you need to use it. That's when you'll be like, oh, where did this thing go to? So anyway, I packed my things. They seemed like everything was there. I'm not very sure yet, because it's very hard to remember, like I mentioned, until you need them. Some of these tiny things, only when you'll need them, that's when you'll remember that you actually don't have them. So I packed my things, changed at the basement. The basement is like they have like a pool table, not so many things. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like I don't know what really goes on there, but it was like empty. So this is the trash bag. They put my stuff, and hello, time for me to leave Copenhagen. I really enjoyed my time. I think it's a beautiful city, but this is not what I was expecting. So I'm just packing my stuff. Up here I was confirming and ensuring everything is in. So packing my stuff, time for me to leave. So they were like, do you need anything? Oh, we're sorry, we'll give you anything you want to compensate. So they gave me water or whatever. I don't care about that. Time for me to just leave Copenhagen. Yeah, so put my things together and decided that I was actually going to leave. And when I was about to leave, they didn't know, like I'd already made my mind that I'm going to leave, but of course they didn't know that's what I was going to do. So when I'm coming up, like I'm about to go to the exit, so this lady approaches me. It's like, hi, you're from Kenya? I'm also from Kenya. I'm like, you know that look, like, does it matter? She was staff too. You could tell that she was also staff. So she's like, oh, I'm also from Kenya. My dad is Norwegian, but my mom is from Kenya. My mom is from Rongai. I don't know, like, and I kind of knew, you know what that is like. So they felt like maybe, oh, if they bring a black lady, maybe I would calm down, maybe I would feel better. I'm so sorry about the experience. Is there something we can do for you? Anything you want? A drink, another room and all that? I just told her, no, I've already made up my mind. I'm leaving. And then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, we can just give you even another room and all that. But I was done, like, you know, when you're done, that's exactly where I was at that point, like, I'm completely done. So she's like, oh, your reservation is still with us. Remember I told you, like, I'd already made payment, partial payment. Your reservation, anytime that you want to come and stay with us, like, at that time I didn't even want that, because I know I can claim my money online because I paid for it online. Anyway, so at that point I left. Will I stop traveling because of such experiences? No. I've always been a wanderlust. I've always desired to be everywhere in the world. It makes me happy. Traveling makes me happy, makes me feel alive. I've been to so many countries and I still have so many more to go. I've done maybe quarter of the world right now. No, not yet quarter, I'm almost there, but I would love to go everywhere in the world. It's what makes me alive, it's what keeps me going, it's what makes me excited. I'll keep traveling, but I will always share so I can enlighten some people. I want to, you know, keep it as real as possible so I can, you know, you get to know. I don't want to hide or act like everything is perfect when facing challenges and all that. Even if you're not traveling, you'll still face some of these challenges. So either way, I choose to share them so that I can help someone else out there. And basically for me, like I said, I've been a wanderluster. This is what makes me happy. I will keep going. I will go. I'll probably travel, and one day I'll be here and telling you, I don't know if I'll make it here, but like to tell you that, in the sense that maybe I won't be doing YouTube anymore, but at some point I'll definitely finish doing all the countries in the world. So let's do this. And again, that doesn't make Denmark a bad place. I actually had a lot of fun in Copenhagen. It's beautiful, it's a nice place. I met a lot of amazing people, just that this ruined my experience and I had to leave. It doesn't mean, like, you know, Copenhagen is a bad place. It's actually a very nice place, and maybe someday in future I might revisit and maybe the experience will be different. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, share and subscribe, and let's enjoy Norway. It's time for Norway.